Hey everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailysheeple.com, and this is your news shot. I want to go to Fox Business. This is a very interesting court case that's coming up here in the United States that could really change things with regards to how labor unions operate in this country. Now, labor union participation has been in decline. I've noticed that now out of the public sector and in the private sector. I can tell you that they don't have or wield as much power as they used to. And a lot of people that I know that belong to labor unions are actually getting upset about it because they're paying exorbitant money to be represented, and they're getting very little out of it, very little value added there. It says the U.S. Supreme Court will hear arguments on Monday for a case that some believe could have significant impact on the influence of public sector labor unions, known as Janus versus American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. The case will determine whether it's constitutional to require government workers to pay a fair share fee to unions for the coverage and protection afforded to them under collective bargaining, even if they choose not to be members. Right now, only 22 states allow unions to collect fair share fees. The unions in these states that benefit from collecting the money argue it's fair because the employees who are not direct members but are covered by collective bargaining agreements still benefit from the efforts. So imagine that. This whole case is about whether or not unions can force people to pay for the collective bargaining agreements that they negotiate. And that's kind of interesting to me because that it's almost compulsory union participation, which to me defeats the whole purpose of the union. I don't know. This takes far too much power away from the individual and puts it in the hands of a select few, the board members of the union or the union president or whatever. There is corruption in unions like you wouldn't believe. And they really have lost a lot of their power. It says here, union membership is on the decline, specifically in the private sector, where fair share fees are prohibited in most states. The overall rate of union membership last year was 10.7%. Now compare that to 20.1% in 1983, according to the BLS. In 2017, 6.5% of private sector workers belonged to a union, while 34.4% of public sector workers were members. So look at that. Over a third of the government, are in a union. And that's a lot because last I checked, there are over 3 million civil servants in the country. So you're talking about a good mill right there. But again, they've lost a lot of their power. And that's why you see a lot of stagnant wages. Wages just can't go up anymore. Otherwise, you're not competitive with the rest of the world. And then the manufacturing gets shipped overseas. That's how that all happened. When free trade came about, it really was the beginning of the end for labor unions and manufacturing in general here in the United States. So this right here is about a person's freedom to say, no, I don't want to be part of this union. And I really don't care what happens as far as whatever agreement you come to, but I'm not paying for it. And, I believe that you have the right to do that. You have the right not to participate. You have the right not to consent. And no one can force you to have to pay for something you don't want. Or at least you're not supposed to. Of course, we saw that with Obamacare, that egregious tax or mandate that was repealed, thank goodness. So, very interesting court case. You want to keep your eye on that one because anybody that's part of a labor union is certainly going to be affected by the outcome of this decision. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. #WakeTheFlockUp. Have a great day, everybody.